Welcome, everybody. Welcome. This is episode number 4, and
Hey.
we have, for the moment, created a title for the podcast. So, as you can see, we're going to be calling our
Great.
podcast More Than Minecraft. So, this is More Than Minecraft, episode number 4. But
It
welcome.
was a beautiful Tatum brainwave in the middle of the night.
It was. They say that you have your best thoughts before you fall asleep and just as you wake up. So keep a notepad by your bed because that's when these things arise. And sure enough, my phone is my notepad, and that's when I thought of it. So, how you doing today, good sir?
I'm doing good. Like, there's a bit of worst timing possible for food to turn up. Was literally as the stream was starting. So I have chips, just so everybody knows. I'm not being rude. It's just I'm hungry. Okay. So yeah,
For those on my side of the pond, he's got fries. But yes.
that is true. Yeah, that is true. I forget that sometimes.
All right. Well,
Oh,
today I was given the lovely task of coming up with the topic of conversation today. So today we will be talking about different types of entertainment. It's going to include things from restaurants to sports to activities to different things. But we've got a list of questions that I've written down that I've got. Um, and from those questions, somebody's saying hello in the background, just the train choo-chooing, saying hello. Um, from those questions, we'll probably branch off into some other topics of conversation potentially, but that is mainly what we're going to be talking about today. So,
then
ready
we
to
can poke at you guys a little bit in the chat as well if you have any questions for those of you watching live.
exactly anybody who decides to watch us live on Twitch. These are every other Sunday so far, 6 p.m. Central Time. So that is when we start these. And yeah, if you show up live on Twitch, then towards the end of the podcast, we do talk directly to the chatters. All right. Well, first question that I've got here, we'll start with you, Mr. Slayer, is
Mhm.
what are some of the more well known restaurants in your area? Something that it doesn't necessarily have to be like a high end restaurant, but just
So
somewhere that's like if you say the name in your area, they're like, oh yeah, I know that restaurant.
two restaurants for sure in my area, and they've got quite a few places around like Yorkshire and above. So like middle of the UK up to Scotland would be Rico's, which is a pizza place. Um, it's kind of funny because one of their original restaurants, well, not restaurants, takeaways, like their second ever one was made in my hometown where I was born, and now they've got like something like 100 different restaurants from all the way in Yorkshire all the way up to Scotland. It's kind of crazy, but they make the most amazing pepperoni pizzas in the world, like the best. Like it does not get better than what they do, and they were always very family orientated and. Like every single Christmas, like on Christmas Eve, we would order our takeaway, and they would always send us a Christmas card with our food, which was always really awesome of them. Yeah, but I'll always remember them, and they always have amazing, amazing pepperoni pizzas. The other one is known for different reasons, and that's mainly its name. It's a fish and chip shop, and I bet you can't guess what its name is.
No,
It's very cringeworthy. It's a very good dad joke.
for fish and chips,
Yes.
tuna and fries.
No, it's called Oh My Cod.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. I could dig it. I
Yeah.
don't even like fish, but you know what? I'll eat there.
Yeah, they do very good battered sausages.
I'll take a
Um,
I'll take a dad joke restaurant any day. Yeah.
but yeah, they're very popular here as well. It's just a great name. Um, I don't think there's really any others though. Not no. You'd be going into more of like the
fast
your
food
big boy
chains.
names. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no,
After
no.
that.
That's not what I was referring to. No.
Mhm.
And that's the funny thing because I could probably go into the fast food chains that you'll have some of and some of you won't. But even just restaurant wise, like when I was thinking about this question here in the States, because we're, of course, the nation of obesity, we have restaurants everywhere. Like some of the bigger name restaurants that I can think of personally that are just close by Outback Steakhouse, um, which is a very big, well known steakhouse restaurant. Applebee's and Chili's. Those are like family type restaurants where you can get different types of like standard food, burgers, pastas, and whatnot. Um, so, and then, like, I mean, the list could honestly go on. Olive Garden. I mean, you see Olive Garden in like some movies where they joke around about the endless breadsticks. So
Yeah, see,
that's
I've always heard of that place, but I've never known what it actually is.
Yep, it's an Italian restaurant, so they're mainly known for like their pastas and stuff.
Mm.
But you've got that place. Now, some bigger restaurants in my area that are more well known. So I'm gonna do it in kind of a couple different ways. I'm gonna start with like a breakfast place that's very well known, IHOP.
Breakfast places?
Yep. And it's not just a breakfast place. It's a breakfast place like it's a restaurant that's mainly known for breakfast and they are open 24/7.
Oh, okay.
And it's called IHOP and it stands for International House of Pancakes. And it is probably one of the top, like I love it. It's a great place to go to. Um Another place that it seems to be dying out, especially with the coronavirus, because it was a buffet. But Golden Corral, it's a buffet that you would be able to go into, and those places are, oh man, they were fantastic. I remember growing up going into Golden Corrals because we would get discounts as children, and our parents would take us there, and we would just stuff up on food because it was a buffet. And then at the end of every time we left, we'd go to the dessert station and grab napkins and fill them up with gummy bears and take them out like we were homeless people because we'd bundle them up like a little like ball of gummy bears. And it was crazy. So that's one place. Another place, especially for us here in the South or in the southern part, that's really big and well known, it's called Cracker Barrel. And Cracker Barrel is unique because the way that the restaurant is set up, it's got a huge front porch on it with a bunch of rocking chairs. So while you're waiting for like your seat, you could sit out there and just rock in a rocking chair on this big front porch. So, yeah. I mean, that's just to name a couple of them though. That's just to name a couple of them. I could probably go on and on with restaurants. Because, like I said, we have a ton.
Yeah, the only other one that I really love that we have here is a steakhouse that me and the missus go to. And I don't say the name because it's local,
Mm-hmm.
but we go there, or we tried to go there about once a month as a date night. And I know I've mentioned this before, but the burgers that they do there are absolutely amazing. Like, so the one that my missus gets, it's I think it's called the Holy Cow, and they bring it out on this hot pan. Oh, she's bringing her phone in, and I think she's going to show us a picture of it now.
Well, while
But
she's bringing
basically,
that picture, yeah, go for it.
yeah,
Explain it.
it's a big hot pan. In the middle is the burger, and then surrounded. Oh, okay. I apologize.
The biggest burger. It's salad, burger, cheese, burger, beef, burger bun. Surrounded by a sea of chips covered in cheese and gravy.
The American side of her is coming out right now. That's it. That's it.
Have you got the picture here?
That was good. That was good.
There we go.
Just that boy.
Ah, it doesn't really do it justice on the camera,
It
but
doesn't. It doesn't. The picture that you sent in Slack was
yeah.
the
Send me
justice
that
picture.
on telly, and then I can show it on the actual screen. But yeah, send me it on telly, and I can show them properly.
See, I'm a fan of a good burger place, but I'll be honest with you, like one of the restaurants that I've been like really digging lately, and I usually like it's funny because when my wife says like we'll have one of those nights where hey, we're gonna get something like to treat ourselves, this is the place I always think of. It's Hibachi. It's Kobe's Steakhouse. And it's like those places where they cook in front of you, like the Japanese type food, where they cook in front of you on the grill. But we can get takeout from there, and that's my favorite. They have something called the Kobe Trio, which is steak, chicken, and shrimp. Oh, delicious. Freaking love it.
Really nice.
It's delicious, bro. Like the next time I get Kobe's, I'm gonna do what you did and take a freaking just a Instagram snapshot of it. Like I'm about to model it for a freaking ad, and I'm just gonna send it to you, and it'll make your mouth water. That's for sure, because
Here
it's
we go.
good stuff. All right, you guys send it to me so I can show it too.
Oh yeah. There for my stream, you can see that was my missus's burger, and there's mine in the background there. Mine's called the Full House, so it's beef burger, beef brisket, bacon, cheese, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
With crisps.
No, not crisps.
Those are
Chips.
chips. My bad. Chips.
It's the best.
My fault.
Like it's gone to like we've.
Is
been
that a
there
knife
few
in the
times.
center of it?
Yeah. To hold it together. You take that knife out, it falls apart. Legitimately, it falls apart.
Yeah, that's like something we would have in the States, bro. That's like legit something that we would have. Like, don't take the knife out. Your burger will fall apart.
Legitimately, that is like 6 inches tall. That burger.
So let me ask you a question. Looking at the size of that burger, there's no way you eat that burger like that. Like, there's no way you pick that up.
No. Once the picture's taken, you take the knife out and then you cut in and chop in at it.
Okay.
Like
Okay. I'm just checking. See, that's
you
the
can't take
only
bite out of that.
that's the only disappointing thing I would say about this is that you can't eat it like a burger. Like you can't like eat it like a burger. That's the only disappointing thing I would say. But otherwise, yeah. Okay.
I'd love to try. Just it wouldn't be possible. So we could do it like that. Like when I eat them though, I always make sure that I have a bit of burger bun, a bit of burger, and then a bit of the beef brisket before I actually eat it. So I've got a bit of each thing that's intended to be in the burger still, but I'm just not eating it like a burger.
Okay. I can dig it.
But yeah, it's one of those places which you know when you've got one of those places where it's got your most favorite food, and you know when you're ordering the food, your mouth's already watering, even though you haven't even told the waiter what you want.
I mean that's like
know
I
what's
said, that's that's Kobe's for me, because like I get hungry just thinking, like on the drive there, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just need to order my food and get this thing like waiting for me when I walk in the door. All right. So the next form of entertainment that we're going to talk about is types of sports that are popular in your country.
Wimbledon,
Tennis.
very popular here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, tennis for everybody else that don't know it, but I imagine the majority of you know when you hear the word Wimbledon that you know that it's tennis.
Golf is popular too, yeah?
Not really.
I could have
Like-
sworn there was like a because golf's one of those things that it's kind of big here, but I could have sworn they had like a England versus or English versus U.S. Like they have.
I imagine they would have. Oh, they do have that, but it's not as popular.
It's not
like
as popular
Wimbledon-
over there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wimbledon is the one that literally nobody in the country talks about tennis, but when Wimbledon's on, everyone's like tennis.
Okay.
It's
So
It's one of those
let's say
things.
Wimbledon is not on. what is the top
Mhm.
sport that people are usually talking about or watching?
Probably football. Like, but I'm not personally fussed about that, so I don't really talk about it. But no, Wimbledon is
AKA
probably the
soccer.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
Soccer for you guys, I guess.
I just have to do it for the viewers, okay? I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for the viewers, all right?
He really is just doing it for himself, guys. Don't let him lie to you. But
Whatever.
no, what Wimbledon is one that gets everybody in the UK like really proud about being English, because when that's going off, and especially because I think it's mainly because we have people in Wimbledon that are actually good at it. Like we have Andy Murray, and
Mm-hmm.
the year that he won, like I think they said that it was the biggest turnout they'd had to a live TV show since like the Diamond Jubilee for the Queen.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember watching that with my mum and my stepdad, and we were just completely silent for half an hour during like the final bit where it was coming to who was gonna win. Just literally with our heads just going like that on the TV. And when he actually won and he announced that he'd won, we cheered. And my parents' house is at least, I would say, 50 feet away from the next house because it's a detached house, and we could hear everybody else on the street cheering as well. We didn't know they were watching it, but you could hear them, everyone just screaming. It was crazy. But yeah, Wimbledon is probably definitely one of the biggest.
All right. So
Um,
tennis,
yeah,
football,
tennis.
aka soccer. What else?
Grand National's pretty big when that's happening.
What is the
Horse
Grand
racing.
National?
Horse racing.
Horse racing.
Yeah, horse racing. That's a pretty big one when that's happening as well.
Interesting. Okay.
Especially along the elderly as well. It seems to be very popular amongst them
Now,
because
is it
there's a lot
more
of
popular as like a visual, like to watch, or is it because of gambling purposes? Or okay,
definitely gambling.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. Because yeah, we've got the Kentucky Derby and the series that they go through with that. So, no, I was not talking to you, Siri. Get out of here.
So my missus is trying to get the dog to leave me, and she won't.
That she's casually waiting for.
Mr. Taylor, if you would like to talk about your favorite sports, I am going to remove the dog.
Okay.
I will be back in a second.
Sure thing. Sure thing. Well, I can tell you
I think
guys.
need to leave.
I
As
can
soon as
tell
I
you
started
guys-
moving.
Oh,
She
he
ran.
gone now. She gone now.
Yeah, she ran.
Well, I can tell you sports are a big thing in the States. It's really hard to, I guess, rank them because really they're more popular during like certain times of the year. But just to kind of go through them, you've got American football, which is similar to rugby over in the across the pond, but they use a lot more padding and a lot more rules, I guess you can say, with it. So that's very popular. Baseball is very popular. Basketball is very popular.
Yes, the basketball is pretty much non-existent in the UK.
Interesting.
It really
Okay.
ain't like. I don't think I've ever heard anybody that's not American talk about basketball to me ever.
Interesting. Okay. Yes, that's pretty big. Hockey is a pretty big deal during the season for that, especially in certain areas. Tennis can be big depending on like where you're at. Like I said, golf is fairly big. One other big sport in the States that's I think pretty unique is NASCAR. It's considered a sport and it's racing. It's car racing. So that's pretty popular. Depending on where you're at in the country, lacrosse is something that some people play.
We've got cricket as well. That could be pretty big here as well. When you have the Ashes, if you know what the Ashes is,
I have no idea what that is.
basically the World Cup of cricket, and it's really big in the UK. I think it's Africa and Australia. Those are the big places for it. Those are
Cricket's the
big
thing with
competitors.
the
The free pins behind where you, if it gets hit and knocks you out.
Oh, okay. Yes. You know what? I
Mhm.
watched some of that on Facebook and thought
Mhm.
that was crazy. Where they like throw the ball like super fast and
Yeah.
it bounces off the ground and they have to hit
They've
it
got to smack it. Yeah.
with like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
flat curved like bat looking thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
cricket.
yes, I've seen that before. That looks I'm not going to lie to you. When I watched that on Facebook, I actually wanted to try that cuz I thought that
It's
would
really,
look cool.
it's a really popular sport for you, for parents to play with their kids when they go to the beach.
The
Because
beach.
they have like beach ones that you can buy that are specifically made to be friendly to use on the beach. So you see that a lot in the UK. Like when you go to the beach or stuff, if it's during the summer and it's like a more quieter beach, you'll see families playing cricket.
Huh. Interesting.
We used to do that all the time.
So you mentioned the beach, and that just makes me think of volleyball. Volleyball is another big sport that that we do a lot of as well. It's actually funny because when I was younger, I actually joined a volleyball league. It was indoor volleyball, and it was once every week. You would go to this gymnasium. You and your team would get put in like a bracket, and you would play like a tournament style every week. And the winner every week got like a prize pool or whatever. So, softball is another like I'm not even talking about on like a national scale as far as like maybe on TV or anything that you would watch. But like college softball is pretty big, and then also like locally, like especially where I live, slow pitch softball is actually like a pretty big deal. Like they have every night of the week you can go down to like the parks and you'll see people playing softball games, slow pitch softball games every night. So
See, the one that I played at school was rugby. And I love rugby so much. It was like I don't think I was ever a sports person at all. But then I remember it was my primary school teacher that introduced me to it in year 4. And in year 4 to year 6, I took what was known as tag rugby, where you couldn't actually tackle the other person, but they would have
flags,
like a tail. Yeah, it was like a tail in the UK, but I know they use flags somewhere as well. And they would have to yoink that off of your waist, and you would be out then. And then I remember in high school, I didn't take it for the first few years because I wasn't able to. And then in year 10, so second to last year of high school, I took up doing actual proper rugby. And I remember because I was always one of the really quiet kids in school up until the last year, everybody thought nothing of it, like I wasn't going to be able to do anything. And I remember there was this person that played it as well. And he, to put it politely, was a very not nice person that I wanted to say very impolite things to. For the sakes of the podcast, that is. I remember my teacher went, "You two, practice tackling." I was like, "Okay, all right." And I specifically remember charging at him for the first time and tackling him to the ground and hearing the wind go out of his chest because he was not expecting it. It was one of the most satisfying things I've ever done in my life. Oh, I loved it.
Confirmed,
But
Slayer
yeah.
was a bully in school.
No, he was the bully. I was getting my revenge.
So,
Oh,
other
I
than
love it.
rugby, have you played any other sports?
Seriously, rugby was the only one that I seriously like properly played. Played rounders a fair bit.
The heck
That's
is
a little.
what?
It's like baseball, but with you're only allowed to use one hand for the bat, and the rules are a lot more laid back on it, really. But that's pretty much it. That's the only difference.
What?
Yeah, and there's no gloves to catch the balls in. You have to catch it with your bare hands.
Okay, interesting.
That was rounders was never a real serious sport though. I think it was more just quite literally a watered down version of baseball that they used for PE or physical education, as it's called in the UK.
Okay.
In high school, basically.
So no like teams that you played on or anything like that, or
Yeah, I mean they could do teams, but they could also do solos. But yeah, it was like I never really saw rounders outside of school.
what about hobbies? Like, have you ever like gone and done sports, anything
Yeah,
sports related? Like, go play tennis
rugby.
with some friends or family.
Used to do swimming quite a lot back when
Swimming. Okay.
yeah, back before I moved because there was a swimming pool near us that I would always enjoy going to.
Okay.
That's about it, really, sports wise. I mean, we go to the gym a lot, but I wouldn't really class that as sports. That's more just exercise, and that's about it.
Yeah, unless you're actively weightlifting and like deadlifting and
Yeah.
turning it into a sport, I guess. I know like when I was growing up, so in middle school I started off playing different kinds of sports. I did little league baseball, so I played baseball for a team.
What is the league baseball exactly like? But is it just
So
called Little League
it's
Baseball?
just called Little League because it's literally like local leagues. Like
Okay.
if I wanted to sign up my oldest son to play baseball, we would go down to the local park who he would sign up with, and they would play against other parks in the nearby area. And it's basically like they have their own league. It's a little league, and they play baseball. So Little League Baseball I played. In middle school, I started playing flag football. I played some basketball. When I got to high school, I played a little bit of volleyball, mixed in with it. And I actually, in some PE classes, I learned how to do archery, and I learned how to do golf for the first time in those classes. And then when I got out of high school, I still played flag football for like some different kinds of like, again, local type league things, because you can sign up and you can like find these places and these parks where people would gather up and play, and you can create a team and compete against other teams. So I played some flag football until I blew my knee out, and then
How'd you manage that?
so it was a non-contact injury. I actually went to I was running with the football, and I went to plant my foot to cut like across the field and juke somebody out. And when I planted my foot, my knee kept going and my foot stayed, and it just allowed pop. And so yeah, that kind of stopped me from playing any more football, which kind of stunk because I was supposed to try out for the University of South Florida football team. And that never ended up happening because I blew my knee out the summer before I went to college. So, but I played like football a lot, American football. So I really got into that. I was a wide receiver, which catches the football. I was even the quarterback at some times where I threw the football. I actually have old DVDs of games that they took DVDs of when I used to play, which are kind of cool to reminisce on. But yeah, other than that, when I kind of got older, I just played slow pitch softball a lot. That was really the biggest sport that I'd play a lot. And I would do little things like bowling and billiards and darts, like bar type games.
Played a lot of if we're talking about the bar type games, I did a lot of pool as well. I did take pool.
Pool,
It's like
billiards.
an after school thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was quite fun.
It's funny because when my wife and me got married, I had a lot of like random stuff. Like I had my own set of darts for darts that I played. I had my pool sticks for pool and billiards that we used to do. I have my own bowling bag still with my bowling ball and shoes when we go bowling. So like I am like a man of many different things. Am I great at any of them? No. Am I decent at all of them? Yeah. Like I could surprise you. Let's just say that.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's cool.
Oh, I broke my camera.
Oh, okay then. Yeah,
How did I manage that?
That's a broken camera if I'd ever seen one. Alrighty then.
Work camera. It's doing something.
Is he coming back? Oh,
There we
he
go.
is. There he
Oh,
is.
I'm small. Oh, there we go. All right.
All right. So, next topic of conversation is what sort of activities do you enjoy to do in your area?
I'm gonna let you start off with this one, and I'm gonna try and go off of some of the stuff that you say because
Okay.
there ain't a huge amount of stuff in my neck of the woods to actually do activity wise.
Gotcha. No worries. So, I live in the state of Florida. So one of the biggest activities that not only do we take part in the state locally, but a lot of tourists will do is just simply going to the beach. So that's one of the activities. We also have a lot of lakes that are in the state. So I know one of my favorite activities that we would do not only when I was growing up, but even now is any friends of ours or anybody that we know that's got a boat just kind of going out to the lake, maybe doing some fishing, or even bringing in like the water works kind of stuff, the rope, the tow rope with the wakeboard or the knee board or the tubing, and do that kind of stuff. That's one of our favorite activities to do, especially in Florida. So
Yeah, I think if I lived near the beach, I would do that so much. Like it would probably be an every weekend kind of thing for me because I would love doing that kind of stuff. But I guess we have a really nice park next to us. It's a park, so there isn't a huge amount that you can really do there. But it's see, when you get to the top of it, you can literally see the entire city that we live next to. But I mean, this is the cinema with the Rainbow Chelsea in it. Like, you gotta remember, like this like the state, I guess you could say, that we live in is pretty much mostly countryside.
okay. So what about like off-roading type stuff? Like, for example, like we live in somewhat of the country, so we would take out four-wheelers or off-road vehicles and
Yeah,
go
we don't
mudding.
really have any of them, and it's highly illegal because it's all farms.
What?
It's all farms, so I'd go and ruin some people's farms if I
Heck
was to
yeah!
do that.
That's the fun part.
No. Get into a lot of trouble.
You get an
but,
old mattress, you tie it to the back of the truck, and then when it's raining, you just go sliding away. Like, that's what you do.
Yeah, I would never be able to do that. But I mean, I used to go fishing quite a lot. That was fun.
Fishing's
But
good
I
too.
don't know many other people that really enjoyed fishing. Like I remember, I think I took my missus once, and she nearly died of boredom. But yeah,
Okay.
I'd enjoy doing that again. But yeah, apart from that, there ain't really much to do in this neck of the woods.
Well, it's funny because I'm close to the beach. Like, I mean, it's 1 hour that way, and then even if I go to the further side of the state, it's like 2.5 hours. But we don't really tend to go to the beach that much, like even though it's right there, because it's just not. It's just not
It's just
something
weird
we
that you
prefer.
say you're close to the beach and you're an hour away. See, in the UK, that ain't close at all. Like an hour away is a long time to go for the beach.
No,
Like anything more than 10 minutes and you're not close to the beach. In the UK. Like,
no, that's close
think-
in my opinion.
we live pretty much near the center, and either way that we go, it would only take us a max of about 80-90 minutes to get to the beach.
Then you're close to the beach.
No, we're not though.
Yes, you are.
It's far away.
You're not closer than the other people in the country. Well, the reason I can say I'm close to the beach is compared to the other parts of the country, there's places
Oh yeah,
that
exactly.
are nowhere near the beach. Like, there's places that are
Yeah, I
closer to
couldn't imagine
Canada
that.
than to a beach. So, to be an hour away from the beach, that's super close to being the way. If you can drive to the beach, spend the entire day, and then drive back home, you're close to the beach. Like, that's
Yeah.
how
I
it
couldn't
is.
imagine that though. Like, I wonder how far away it would be. Like, how long would it take you to get to the beach if you live like pretty much in the middle of America? Like,
Oh,
that must be something you would do like once a year, if that.
well, that's what I'm saying. That's why those people usually will tend to like flock to states like mine for spring break or for summertime months because they don't have that luxury. They don't
Yeah.
have that option.
See, I couldn't imagine that. Like, I would, I just wouldn't like that at all. Like, that'd be too alien to me. Like, it's like if you live in Aussie land, like Trimbo, he's never seen snow in his life. He's never seen it. I can't imagine that. Not being able to see snow. Like, not knowing at the winter time that there's a possibility it's going to snow. Like, that would
I don't
drive
have
me
that.
crazy. Yeah, see, I don't know how you can live without that.
I don't have that.
Seeing snow, bro. Like, I love it. And I couldn't imagine living without that.
Oh, well,
But I guess if you've never lived with it, it's normal. But that's just
32 years of
it's
living in a
very
place where
alien
I
to me.
don't have to worry about snow coming down. No. So,
Yeah. See, I know my missus wouldn't have an issue with that. She would love that because she hates snow with a passion. But I love it.
all right. So the next question is what sort of venues do you enjoy nearby? So to kind of give you an example of this question, we have places near me. One, for example, is called Dave and Buster's. I don't know if you've ever heard of Dave and Buster's, but it's
I've
basically
heard
like
the name, but I don't know what it is.
it's like a grown-up arcade. So it's literally, let me see if I can pull up any photos of it.
I'm going to need to see pictures.
All right. So are you, I mean, if you just Google it, you could probably find it there.
I
ba-
have your stream up.
So Dave and Buster's is literally like a big arcade. Like if I were to pull up this photo here, oh, get off my screen, close. So it's literally just like a huge arcade for grown-ups.
Mm.
So they've got like skee ball and little four-way ice or air hockey machines and different kind of like games that you can win tickets from and get stuff, and then just like with a Chuck E. Cheese or a mini arcade that some kids may go to, you could turn the tickets or tokens that you get in for prizes. They got like the racing games, and most of the stuff they've got is like new age type stuff. Like it's Mario Party, it's like Zombie Hunters. They even have older style like Resident Evil shooter games, but it's basically a bunch of arcade type stuff. And then they've got like bars with a bunch of TVs, and all throughout the restaurant areas a bunch of TVs where you can watch sporting events or anything that might be going on. The Wimbledon, for example, people might go to the Dave and Buster's to watch it. But yeah, it's basically like a huge arcade. That's their logo. But it's pretty
We
cool.
don't have anything like that in the UK. That sounds really cool, though.
It's-
like I'd like to go to a place like that.
It's awesome. Like if you were to ever come to the States like near us, we would literally, they have this virtual reality Jurassic World ride where you actually wear a virtual reality headset with a controller, and you have to scan dinosaurs as you're going through like a park, and you're sitting on this what's supposed to be the vehicle, and it bounces back and forth, and like it's like a legitimate amusement park type ride inside this Dave and Buster's. So that's fun. I remember doing that. But yeah, it's fun, man. I've been there a few times. We actually had one that was it was funny because this used to be strictly like in Orlando. So like if I wanted to go to this, I'd have to go out by where Disney's located at to go to this. But then they actually built one close to where we live. So now we can drive 30 minutes instead of an hour and 30 minutes through traffic to get to Dave and Buster's if we ever want to go to that. But yeah, it's fun. Another place that we have, I don't know if you've heard of this, Top Golf.
Never heard of it.
Top Golf. So Top Golf is basically a golf driving range, but the way that they have it set up, it's like a club. So they have like at night they have a bunch of music that's playing and a bunch of people that are partying, and but then they have all the like single bays where you golf from, and it's set up like a little mini lounge. So let me see if I can find a good oh, here we go. So it's set up like a little mini lounge where you can just like whoever's golfing is golfing, and then everyone else is just chilling around a table. It's like a restaurant style thing. You order food. There's music usually playing, and then out in the driving range, there's these big circles with targets in them, and you could play games with the driving range on how you would golf.
See, I know we have some of them in the UK, but I've never been to one.
Top Golf is amazing. Like if you can like just to experience it, Top Golf is awesome. Especially at nighttime, it's super fun. We enjoyed it. I remember when they first built the Top Golf that's near us, my work actually took us at an outing there, and since then I was like, bro, this place is cool. So yeah. That's probably two of the biggest ones that I can think of. I could probably name off a bunch of other venues and like bowling alleys, like
See, I've got an easy one here for me. It's this place right here. Wait for it. Boom. This place is like an hour away from me, and I know Beanie would absolutely love this place. It's Alton Towers. I know Beanie. So it's pretty much a theme park. Have you heard of Alton Towers?
no.
It's beautiful. Like, let me see if I can find explore rides and attractions. Where's the big boy ones? Nemesis, that's a pretty big one. Smiler, that one, like, I'm actually amazed that it's still going because there was an accident on it like a couple of years ago, where one of the carts got jammed on the track, and they sent off another cart, and it smashed straight into the other one while it had people on it, and somebody actually lost a leg.
See, to me, this would be more of like an amusement park. Is that what this is?
It is. It's an amusement park.
Okay.
But it's pretty close to us. Oblivion, that one, I remember going on Oblivion. There is a picture of me with my face literally red like a tomato because I was absolutely terrified while going down on it, because it's literally a vertical drop, straight vertical drop.
Okay.
You go through up to 4.5 G you experience when going down it, and my lord, is it terrifying, but it is really, really, really fun.
So this kind of goes into the next question I had, was amusement parks. So this is more of in line with that, because yeah, Beanie loves these kinds of things. Like Beanie loves roller coasters and those kinds of things. And being in Florida, I have tons of these kinds of things nearby. So yeah,
apparently the Smiler used laughing gas as well.
Interesting. Okay.
Definitely interesting as well. But yeah, we have a couple in the UK. I would say Alton Towers is probably the most well-known one. They've got so many though. It's actually crazy how many they have. They've got a lot more than when I was last there as well. Let's see, Haunted Hollow. They do really, really good Halloween themed times as well during October. They're very well known for that. I've been on 13. That ride literally, it's the normal cart, as you can see there in the picture. It drops straight down. It doesn't go down. It literally just you're stood and you go down. Like, it actually jumps from one track to another below you. It scares the daylights out of you, but it's also a very good one. Galactica, that's a classic one.
Listen, that's scary. What you were just showing there.
Which one?
If you scroll down a little bit. That
this, yeah.
Yeah. That's That's terrifying right there.
That's the Teletubbies.
That's terrifying right there. Like, you want to talk about something scary? That right there is
You got
terrifying.
Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Lala, and Poe.
No, you cannot know the names of them. That is
I remember them
horrifying.
because they were on show when I was a kid.
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. All right.
Oh,
Anyways,
you think that's terrifying? You wait.
no. Next podcast. Anyways,
No, you're getting it now.
no. Next podcast.
The original intro to the Teletubbies.
No. I can't listen
Look,
to this.
it is literally
No. It's a baby. No.
It's a
No.
literal baby
No.
that is the sun rising from
No.
the sky.
No. I can't. Oh. It's horrible.
Oh, it was good.
That is absolutely horrible.
You know what old?
Yeah, and you know it's old when the actual baby they used for that now has their own children.
Yeah, that's terrifying. I'm sorry. That's terrifying. Anyways,
Yeah,
all right,
Teletubbies.
turning that off.
Teletubbies, man.
Turning that off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean amusement parks. I don't know where
I mean,
to even
you
start.
win. You simply win with,
Bro.
with amusement parks.
I mean, it starts. All I gotta say is Disney and Universal Studios. Like that's
Yeah, exactly. And my missus already hates you now.
That's Orlando. The other great thing that what she say?
I have no idea. What did you say? Hear that? Apparently, she's gonna crash at your house so she can go to Disney.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. The one that we really love, that we went to all the time, was Legoland because we have one of those near us as well.
I think we have a Legoland near us.
And then we have Busch Gardens, which Beanie plans on coming to because they have one of the biggest iron roller coasters that's being built in the nation. We have SeaWorld, which has the orcas.
We have a SeaWorld as well, I believe.
Then we have Adventure Island, which is more of a water park, but it's considered an amusement park. Really, those are the main ones. Like, I mean, the Disney and Universal Studios. It's funny because a lot of people think, "Oh, I'm going to Disney," or "Hey, I'm going to Universal Studios." What you don't realize is that Disney and Universal Studios is actually comprised of probably a dozen or more different parks. So you're not actually going to like one park. You're going to multiple different parks when you're visiting Disney. You've got like MGM Studios, Universal Studios. You've got like so many different places. And like you said, when it comes to Halloween time, like Universal Studios is a huge like terror event. Like they usually find a theme, like a good theme, and they have a huge terror event surrounded by it. And then Busch Gardens will do the same thing. It's called Howl-O-Scream every year, is what they call it. And they'll pick like a topic or like a certain thing to focus on, and that's what their events center around. And it's funny because I actually thought about there's been a couple of years where I thought about actually applying to be a scare at Busch Gardens just so I could scare people when they came into the park.
That would be fun. I can't lie.
But yeah, I mean, there's tons and tons of amusement parks. So, alrighty. So I think your wife probably, your missus.
She's already
probably,
answered the next question.
Yeah. Are there any events or venues that you would like to attend outside of your country?
Yeah. So obviously Disney World. That's like a no-brainer. I think if I didn't choose that as an option, my missus would probably divorce me before we were even married. So
Huh?
that's a no-brainer right there. TwitchCon. I'd love to do TwitchCon.
Nice.
love to.
Okay.
And that's definitely something that I definitely intend on doing within the near future.
Maybe by then they'll have TwitchCon move to the East Coast. That way it's not all the way in California.
Maybe.
That'd be
I mean, I
cool.
know they have done before TwitchCon in London as well. and if they do that, I would have to go. Like there'd be no doubting that. I don't know if there's really anything else though.
Yeah,
There's
see,
nothing else that would really pull me to do something like that.
yeah, see, for me, like outside of the country, there's not really any. Like the only venue or place that I would really want to visit sometime in my life is the Sydney Opera House in Australia. I would really, really, really love to visit Australia and visit like that area because it just looks beautiful to me from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Other than that, like the only other thing outside the country, which I've already done before and I'll continue to do, is cruises. Is cruising to like the Caribbean islands and cruising to Mexico and Belize and things like that. So, I mean, that's really the only other thing that I would like to do, continue to do, but I've already done it. So,
Yeah, I need to do a cruise because I've never officially done an actual cruise.
100% recommend. I mean, of
And
course,
I'd
with
love to.
COVID freak out right now, it's not necessarily the recommended thing to do, but
Yeah.
no,
It's
I'll
like,
definitely recommend
I'd
it.
love to go to the Eiffel Tower as well, and I was really
True.
close to going to the Eiffel Tower. Literally, I was going like 3-4 days later, and then the air company that I booked the tickets for me and the missus to go to the Eiffel Tower for the
That's
weekend
right.
and go and visit Disneyland
But
got
hey,
shut down
but
because
hey,
COVID.
but hey,
Like they
would you
went
have rather it
bankrupt.
got shut down before or after you made it there?
I mean, if I was already there, then they would have had to have sorted out something else with us because we have what's known as atoll protection, which means that we would basically be covered by the government. They would basically pay for us to get back to the UK, or they would have to pay for us to stay in a hotel until they could get us back in the UK.
Oh,
So,
interesting. Okay.
I mean, that would have not been preferable because I'd have been like, "Hey, Tater, looks like you're running the circus
Nah,
for next
nah,
week."
nah, nah. Trembo. Calling Trembo. I need your assistance here, sir. Nah, don't be wishing that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
All right. So the last question I've got, unless we think of anything else, is when you were younger, I put what is the one place that you'd love to go, but it could be a multitude of different places. And just to kind of give you an example on this one as well, because I know we were talking about this and you were having trouble kind of thinking of it. So I can tell you that when I was younger, there were a couple of different places that we would love to go to. One of them is called Chuck E. Cheese, which
I've
is
heard of that place.
it's
I've heard of
basically
it.
like a mini Dave and Buster's. It's for little kids, pizza parties, and that's when you were having a birthday. That's a lot of times where you wanted to go for your birthday party when I was really young. When I got a little bit older, it was like more of a teenager. One of the places that I absolutely loved to go to, which I'm so upset is no longer a thing, it was called Celebration Station. And it was basically it was like a mini park for kids. They had go karts, they had the bumper boats, like the little water boats that you would bump into each other with. It's like bumper cars, but on water. Um, and they had mini golf, batting cages, and then they had inside was like a mini arcade and like a huge jungle gym type thing that you could climb around in. But that place was amazing. I used to love that place, and they shut it down and built a hotel on top of where it was. So upsetting.
Sucks.
So upsetting. Still hurts to
I
this
mean,
day.
I can say the one place that I always used to love to go because we did it every year when I was little, was there was this cottage in a place called Sutton on Sea, which is in Mablethorpe in the UK, and it was right next to the beach. And my parents would take us there every single year, just for a week. And it was a quiet little place next to a pretty big city, which was on the sea, and where you would have all your penny arcades and all that kind of stuff, where you would put in the pennies, and you would get stuff that cost them like 10 cents, but you spent like $5-6 trying to actually get out of the machine. But I loved that place because I just have so many fond memories of us just on the beach or just wandering around. Because it was just outside the city, it was dead silent, and you would have the beach pretty much to yourself. And we would take the dogs in there; they would run along there. I remember the second year we went, we hadn't even properly like fully unpacked. Like we had packed up the car and we said we were just gonna walk to the beach for 2 minutes just to have a walk on it before we went inside and unpacked everything. So weren't even unpacked from the car, and me and my mum were walking down the beach, and I remember going to her, and I was like 12, 13 at the time. Is that a seal I see? She's like, I think it is. And we walked down the beach, and there is this baby seal that is like 6 months old, and it's gotten one of those can opener things like trapped around its neck. So we had to call the RSPCA, and they sent someone from the Sea Life Sanctuary, which was literally about 10 miles down the road, to come rescue the seal. And at that point, it decided it was going to start throwing it down with rain and torrential wind. So there's me and my mum trying to stop this seal from running back into the sea. And then I see from the top of the beach my stepdad and this man running down like a Baywatch scene, holding this thing to put the seal in. And it was just so great because there's my stepdad and him running down, and then there's my little sister who's like 8 years old trying to keep up behind him.
That's a phrase I was not expecting. My stepdad and this man running like a Baywatch scene. Like, what?
I remember it so vividly, though. And yeah, the seal was called Billy because we got to name it because we rescued it.
Billy.
And for the next 6 months, I got weekly updates from them because I was sending my pocket money to them to help the charity because it was a charity. And for the next 6 months, I got a weekly letter with pictures and updates of Billy. And then I remember on the final month, they sent me a video, and I got to watch Billy get set back off into the sea.
Oh.
And to this day, I like it's one of the biggest memories I have from then. But yeah, I love that place.
See, there you go. I knew you'd come up with a good idea. I knew it.
But yeah, it was a very nice place. Definitely
Awesome.
got to go there again some point.
All right. Well, I ain't got nothing else question wise, and we're over that hour mark at this point. So I think this is where, if anybody in the chats, we have Slayer stream, we have my stream currently here. If you're live in the chat and you have a question that you would like us to answer, now's a good time.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to speak now, then we're just going to go murder people.
Yeah, tonight's a little bit
rather than
different with the
making it.
podcast. We're going to, instead of ending, we're going to actually go play some Vigi games afterwards. So, all right, I got Polar asking, what do you each do for fun locally?
Play games on the internet.
I was going to say the same thing. I mean, what do you... I don't really go anywhere locally.
Yeah.
If I were to do anything like not in my home and somewhere like locally, I would say I would say the places like I was showing you guys earlier, like Dave and Buster's. Like we would probably plan like a date night with friends and go out to Dave and Buster's and enjoy something out there. Or oh, actually, cool thing to say as well. There's a next to the Top Golf that's by us. They have an indoor skydiving place. So, that's the thing I didn't mention as well. I've been skydiving twice, by the way. That's one of the activities that we have.
It's one thing that's on my bucket list, and I'm taking my mother and
Yeah?
my fiance when I go.
Do they have
We're
skydiving
going
near
to
you?
start it. Yeah.
Okay.
We can get skydiving, yeah.
Yeah, we have a skydiving place, literally Zephyr Hills, Florida, just about 30 minutes north of where we're at, and I've been there 2 different times, jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. So, That's something I've
Oh.
done.
It's about half an hour away from me as well. So yeah, definitely doing that at some point. Kind of was actually something that was planned for the summer, and then COVID. So
Listen, you can catch
it'll happen.
COVID
Yeah.
13,000 feet in the air. Exited. I'm not an admin on Sky. Just to answer your question real quick, I am admin on the forums on Sky, but I'm not a technical admin on Sky. I'm an admin for Cosmic, so if that means that I'm an admin on Sky, then I guess I am. But yeah,
When are you taking Bubbles to Disney World then?
was that from her?
Yeah,
Yes, I knew
it
it.
was.
I knew it.
It was indeed.
Called it. I don't know, Slayer. When you taking Bubbles to Disney World?
When we can afford plane tickets, and then Taylor's gonna give us a free house to stay for a week.
Sure.
And, that's the plan.
That part's easy. That's funny. Evasive asks, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
The pineapple,
True.
just to confuse you a little bit more. Then.
Amazon.
All right. Are we going to see if we can find a wild glad and get these DVDs going?
Yep. Before we're going to end this out for the YouTubes. For those of y'all watching on YouTube, if you do have any questions for the future podcasts, please don't hesitate to put a comment down below. You can also check out our live streams, which will be in the comments in the description below as well. Don't hesitate to check us out, either me or Slayer live. You can also join our personal Discords. Slayer actually has has a section specifically for podcast questions. If you have any questions for a future podcast, you can check out his Discord directly, which again you can get through his stream, which will be linked down below. But other than that, that's it for episode number 4 with More Than Minecraft.
Toot.